Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Keith here from Commander Hoop Celtic. I don't know what happened a couple of minutes ago. We had a bit of a technical problem, but we have Mick back now.
Blame
If
COVID
he
for
has
it.
problems with his Wi-Fi, he's gone, he's gone. That's the way it is. Simple as that.
It's
Hello
always
to
a Wi-Fi.
everyone.
It's always a Wi-Fi issue with me or something, isn't
Yeah, literally, that's what you get for living out in the sticks, eh?
it?
Well, hello to everyone over on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Don't be shy, get a comment in. Ask us what you want about Celtic. If you want to talk about the season, talk about Ange, talk about the game tomorrow, transfers, whatever you want, I'll answer the question. Sure, Mick will. We were going back to the Ferencvaros game there, Mick. So you were saying, yeah, your head is saying 1-0, but your heart's saying 1-0.
Yeah. Well, that's unless I said that the ass ways around the last time, but yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. It could be scrappy. It just depends what way the defense goes. I think so. Obviously, we have that leaky defense. It needs to be kind of sorted out, whatever. But look, we see what happens tomorrow, and then obviously see what way he plays up top as well. Like, if he's going to play Giakoumakis, is he going to play Kyogo up top? Like, he's kind of has a bit of a dilemma with them too at the minute, but it just doesn't seem to be working there. I don't think with Giakoumakis. I don't think, especially after the penalty missed last weekend, his confidence is going to be all over the place. Like, no blame, and can't blame him. Anybody can miss a penalty. In fairness, like, it's don't be.
I know
Using
anyone
it,
can miss a penalty, but it was the way he went up with the way he approached the penalty was the problem with me. It wasn't the actual way he hit it; it's the way he approached it. I was just like,
you have to look at it this way, and that one, Keith. Like, everyone would say, why wasn't Juranovic taking the penalty? Like this could have been decision could have been made from the training ground weeks ago. Like when he first came in, that he was going to be taking penalties. But obviously, with McGregor missing a penalty, he was not going to be taking another one. Juranovic obviously said, right, I'll take them if Giakoumakis isn't allowed. And so Giakoumakis might have been just doing his duties, but we don't know. But Juranovic might not have fancied it either after being injured.
I can understand he wants to get Giakoumakis' confidence up. You know, would have been two goals in the two home games that they're playing in the league would have been decent for him. But I don't know what he's thinking. Look, I think this will obviously haunt him. But if it's a case that these 2 points we dropped the weekend affects us up at the end of the season. Look, I don't like putting burden on players. I really don't like. I just think it's a team. At the end of the day, you know, win some, lose some, draw some. It's a team effort. But Ange did speak up, stick up for him. Obviously, stuck up for him in the press conference, and I go with Kyogo. I really would go with Kyogo. Like my heart's telling me out straight. I don't care about the Europa League. I really don't care. I know people want to say, "Oh, it's a competitive edge for Celtic," but let's be realistic, folks. The league's the bread and butter. We can't compete in everything and try win everything. You know, we don't have the core depth of the squad to do it. Like, we really don't. You know, you go back to 5-6 weeks ago, playing Ross County, and we had Alvin Yeti to play a front for us. Like, that's how things can change. A couple of injuries and you're down to bare minimum. Like,
yeah, no, I totally agree with that as well. But like, you have to consider as well, like, if we're going to have these games, like that's the way the league goes in any league. And I said this with you and a few of the lads, Keith, as well. Like, just because we're dropping points, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Like look at us a few weeks ago. We were 7 or 8 points behind, and we were looking already down and out. So we were, and look, we've clawed back. If you had started of last week and seeing that we were still 4 points ahead last Monday, right? Obviously, we got a bit of luck that they dropped points against Aberdeen, and then we got 2 points back. But obviously the mistakes happened then on Saturday. If you had have said yourself, right, if we're still 4 points going into the weekend, you'd have taken that hands down straight away. Obviously, it was a little bit disappointing because we dropped 2 points, but we're not going to go the whole season invincible. We're not going to win every game. We're going to drop points. It's simple as that. Like, so you can't be expecting this. We're not Brendan Rodgers football again. We're still rebuilding as well. So,
of course.
Look at what we did compared to the way since Ange came in. The first few weeks we weren't great, and now we're all of a sudden we're Ange's biggest supporters. And now after dropping 2 points on Saturday, we're back to where we were a couple of weeks ago. So,
well, look, the way I look at it is, right, I know I hate doing comparison, but this time last year we done a podcast after we drew 3-3 to Aberdeen away, and we were saying to us, we said in the podcast, look, that's it over. That's it over. You rang me literally full time, like, what's going to happen here? Is Lenny has to walk, like, and then he stuck it out to the Ross County game, 4 or 5 months later. But look, it's it's a rebuild, and people need to have patience. But at the same time, you see good football being played. It's the first half of Easter Road, and you're like, you know what? There's champions there to be made long term if they can get this together. But I understand Angie's the squad rotate and play the likes of these Giacomakis lads, and he sees quality of them. Look, he was the top goal scorer in the year that is a, but
you made a good point there a few minutes ago, Keith, as well, like about rotation. Like, but you made a good point there a few minutes ago. You have to think about it as well. Like, so if we go down injured, like then we haven't got the squad depth, right? These lads have to get game time because you can't be bringing them in cold as well. Because if they come in cold, then they're useless to us straight away. They're not going to perform unless we get an absolute dose of luck. But you have to play lads, and even like if it's reserve league or something like that, just get them playing ball. Don't be worried about keeping them fit. Get them playing the whole time, just to keep them loose and everything.
I see. I don't know. He should have made a change earlier in the game. Look, I think he's going to be a good manager for us. I'm backing him. Even if we come away a cup this season, if it's the League Cup or it's, I still believe that we're in contention to do this league. Like, it's not like people were thrown in 6 weeks ago. Like, oh, we're going to win the league, Keith. We're going to do the league. I'm like, have patience. Like, as you just said there, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. There's still 26 games to be contested. My concern is I don't think we have enough squad depth to compete in other cups and go out there and fucking try win the league the way we used to. I just don't think there's enough leadership players on that team to deal with this. Joe Hart, when Julian comes back, yes. Callum McGregor to aspects. I like Callum. I think he should be the captain, but there's not enough leadership up front to take the game with a neck. Like the likes of like the days of Scotty McDonald or Gary Hooper or something, them days are gone. Look after Henry Clarkson, like
you can't not mention him.
Of course, we can't not mention the King of Kings. But gonna go through a few of the comments. But I'm optimistic tomorrow, folks. I believe we can get a result over there after seeing the way we played against them at home. There's cracks in that defence. I think we have to play Kyogo. If it's the case that Kyogo plays up front, Jota on the left. My heart saying, I don't know if James Forrest is in the squad. I think he is in the Europa League squad.
It looks like he's pushing for. A lot of people are already saying that he's pushing for him on the wing, so I wouldn't be half surprised to see him start tomorrow. And
he said in the press conference that he goes, he suits our style of football that we're trying to produce at the club. Yep. So I'd like to see Jamesy play. Even give Jamesy a half and then
just on that one. Like you saw when Jamesy came on the weekend, like he was obviously in late as well. Like it was late in the game, but when he was cutting in, he was getting the ball across. Obviously, every ball that was going in was going to one of their men the whole time. But when he was cutting in across, if he was doing that like early on for the first 60 minutes, we could have had 1 or 2 goals against Livingston. If just putting across, little tap in could have happened. So I wouldn't be half surprised to see him start tomorrow. We need a change on that side.
Big time. I just think squad rotation is going to be the biggest thing. And I understand people keep saying, well, don't break it if it doesn't need to be fixed and that stuff, that way. But look, I just think there a lot of games coming thick and fast. He's going to have to make changes. Midfield, Tom's out. I think that's what we're missing the other day. That magic from Tom Rogic, just that ball in, because you seen Livy our Jinx team. They literally just parked the bus. And people are saying people are saying they're playing boring football. Hold on a second. If you're a Livingston Football Club, you're going to park the bus against Celtic away. That's the way it is. And I don't know why people are coming out with these cheap shots. At the end of the day, they're a good organised team. Yes, they weren't going out to win the game. They were going out to get a point, and they got the point. They got 4 points against us. That's our Jinx team. Here's where our Jinx team in Easter Road until last week, and force win.
Right saying was the last manager to win there Ronnie Doyle by any chance in the league?
Big. It wasn't. It was Lenny. It was actually Lenny.
Was it?
It was Lenny.
Says enough, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was actually Lenny. It was the yellow jersey was actually Neil Lennon's last season. The magnets on it, but like look at Ronnie failed. Lenny failed. Like Lenny actually won there in the Scottish Cup in his second game. Brendan failed. So to come out results against Hibs, it was tasteful. It was tasteful to see Bruni score against them as well. Someone's asking me, what do I think of this Japanese guy that's been linked to the club? I think it's a load of nonsense. There's only been one source to it. Majority of Celtic pages on Instagram are putting up, I don't believe any truth in it. Now, Dan's made it. I believe that. I think he's he looks quality. The guy that played for Yokohama, still at Yokohama, the 24-year-old. I don't know if you've seen him, Mick. He's
I haven't
he had
seen
18
any of the
goals.
rumors yet. I have looked into that other guy that we were talking about. The guy up top, like he just looks like an absolute warrior. So he does, in fairness. Just the
Going
picture of him,
back
he
to the
looks class.
comparison, going back to just a couple of minutes ago, I said we need to get someone that takes the game by scruff by the neck. You know, that's what we need, and that's the type of player that could link up with Kyogo. I just don't know about Giakoumakis. He holds the ball up well. I think he's going to be a cracking player.
I'm going to stop you. I'm
He,
going to have to stop you there. Now, look, how many games he played for us? He's played what, 3? Not even 3 games for us. Fully the 4 games, but not even 4 games. Top of that as well. He hadn't played a game since May. He's coming in trying to prove himself. Okay, he's got a lot of pressure on him as well. He's obviously wearing the number 7 jersey. Don't know why he took that decision, but he's got a lot of pressure on him as well. I'm not going to hold anything against him. Just get behind the guy, like, you know, he hasn't played. Just because he scored the most goals in the Eredivisie, he's just like he's got this big huge thing on his shoulders now that he's got so much pressure that he's going to do it in the Scottish League. But like, Scottish League is different football altogether. We've seen that so many times with different players.
It's more physical than the Eredivisie. Look, Eredivisie has some quality teams in it. Some quality teams like the likes of Feyenoord. As much as people don't like saying that, Ajax, PSV, you know, Groningen. I don't know if anyone's seen the Groningen striker scoring that scorpion kick the other day. Unbelievable. Like, that's where Van Dijk came from. Holland. You know, came from Groningen. So there is gems in that Dutch league. He does need a bit of time. Is it a case that if he's not scoring goals by Christmas, do you stick him in the Scottish Cups games to build a bit of confidence? Because with the likes of playing away, if he doesn't play tomorrow, do you stick him away to Dundee on Sunday?
See, that's the other thing as well. Like, we have to see what way we get through tomorrow with injuries and knocks and everything as well. Like, obviously with Tam being out for the next 3 games, that's going to be that's a big loss as well. It's a big hole to fill, especially after the performance he had against Hibs, and that was evidence on Saturday as well. Like, so, but he's probably going to rotate Kyogo and Giakoumakis on a regular basis just to kind of keep them like loose and keep them like a little bit fit as well. Like, probably just throw one over 30 minutes, last 20 or something like that as well. Like, so like, but you don't want to start getting injuries this time of year as well. Like, muddy pitches, you could do an ankle, you could do a little muscle there and then as well. Like, so there's not that many plastic pitches. So
it's a nice stadium we're playing in tomorrow. 22,000 seater stadium. Obviously green seats, even though we won't have any fans there. As I was saying in the first take of this podcast, I'm sure fans will get in. I know a few that's gone off to Budapest. I'm not there myself. I'm sure we will probably get a live Instagram off 1 or 2 fans pissed out of heads tonight, singing songs as usual.
over the Jack Doyle bar in Budapest, no doubt.
Well, I've never been to Budapest. Maybe you ever been there? Place you been, Nick?
Yeah, I've been Budapest, all right. Yeah, I was there around. It was February when I was there, and it was absolutely Baltic. So it was past the stadium we're playing in tomorrow as well. Looks lovely. But the Irish bars over there, Jack Doyle's, but there's a lot of Irish over there that work over like in dentistries and veterinaries and bars. So you saw the Irish game they played against Hungary in a friendly before Euros. There's a few Irish fans at that game as well, so I wouldn't be half surprised to see a few fans there tomorrow.
Unfortunately, it's not that stadium. That stadium's a belter.
Not the Puskas Arena. No. If I passed another one, so it's
that's an absolute belter of a stadium. Yeah. Well, look, if Ferencvaros has turned us over before, I'm optimistic we can get a result there tomorrow. I really am. Well, I'll go with Hart and goal, though. Obviously, no brainer. Hart has to play. I want to talk about Joe Hart. We touched on it about 5 weeks ago. He's starting to love him more and more when he comes in. Is it just the way he speaks about the club, the way he orchestrates himself out on the pitch?
As I said a few weeks ago when he first came in, he's always had that heart. No pun intended, but saying that, like, he's always had that. With any club he goes to, he always plays for the club. He always plays for the badge, no matter who he signs for. There seems to be something different with the way he's composed himself with Celtic. He's getting in with the fans. Maybe obviously he hasn't been playing first team football the last couple of years. Wasn't getting his getting his place or anything. So now he's just seems to be reviving his career. We've seen that happen so many times at Celtic. So the good thing is he's not on loan. The good thing is we actually have him signed to the club, but he might actually want to stay there. I think he is good captain material as well. You can see the way he's in the huddle, head is up, like the veins are nearly popping on the neck, and he's not even saying anything. So, and he is a big difference that we have there at the moment. It's like when the ball comes in, he looks like the Joe Hart of old. A few dodgy mistakes. Tell me a keeper that doesn't have a few dodgy mistakes. He's not on the line as well, off the line as much as well, hoping that he's going to get lobbed. We've seen that kind of gone away a little bit. But no, he's great to have at the minute. He's brilliant to have.
I have to say, I'm starting to like him more and more each time. And you know what's strange the other day? He was doing sweeper keeper. The ball was near the sideline, and he comes out just to stop it going out for a throw. It's just like, what are you up to? You're a mad thing. But look at I've asked this question to a few people, and a few people have said yeah, a few people have said no, and I haven't asked you yet. Can Joe Hart be more of a successful keeper at Celtic than Fraser Foster? I know Fraser's in the past, but sometimes you have to do a comparison.
I think it's too early to answer that question, to be honest.
I'm talking about this in this season in general. Now, we know Fraser obviously got that clean sheet record at 16 goals. He had that British record, 16 goals. I don't think we have the squad defensively to do that this season. No. I think it's a rebuild. It's going to take time. I still think we are giving away stupid goals, but we done well.
He's still 6 clean sheets already this season as well in the league. He's the top. He's the Golden Gloves at the minute. So, and even with that leaky defense, it just shows what he's doing with that. Like you see, like when likes of Starfelt made a couple of mistakes, and I think it was against Hibs last week. The last couple of minutes of the game, your man cut in, and Hart was well out of position, got back and just took the ball off his feet. And any other day we would have thought it was going to be a penalty, but he won the ball cleanly, and it just shows the type of person he is in nets, even with the leaky defense and having 6 clean sheets.
You're talking about the ball to feet kind of scenario there. Like you look when Bain got that done to him last year, and the likes of Barkas, I think we were all literally hiding under the table when that was done. Like he has done a few dodgy things at the start against Alkmaar, and then the other day against when Ralston passed the back to him, and he obviously hit the hip flyer and went out for the throw. Talking about Anthony Ralston, I'll go back to the Ferencvaros game and the score predictions and the team folks. I know I'm happy through it all over the shop tonight. Anthony Ralston, new contract. Does he deserve it? Yes or no? Michael?
You can't really disagree with it, can't you? Has the way he's played this season. Like I'll put my hands up, and I think a lot of people will join me in this as well, saying that last season or even season 4 he was a write-off. Didn't think he was ever going to make it big at Celtic. Like I remember he played against Barcelona a couple of years ago and said, right, he's going to be brilliant. Never really performed after that. Never showed up. He was out alone.
Wasn't that PSG?
PSG. Sorry, again, I apologise. Sorry. Look, we played Neymar that many times. Like, can you blame me? But yeah, like, the way he's shown up this season, I said a couple of times he's been man of the match, and even when he's scoring goals, he's solid. He's making last-ditch tackles, and he's only playing right back. When he went down injured a couple of weeks ago, I was really worried. I'm like, no, we're going to lose Ralston. And I never thought I'd be saying that, but he definitely deserves the contract. I can't
100%.
say that.
Look, we got a 22-year-old on our hands here. He's Neil Lennon hate him. You could say hate him. You know, I had high hopes. You see him when that whole Neymar thing's like, I know loads of people say, oh, that's an embarrassing picture. It just shows that he was a young flip that stood up to Neymar. Look, we got whooped that night by PSG. Doesn't really matter. It's a learning curve for him and the team. But he has taken the jersey. Like literally, the jersey's his. I know we signed Jovanovic and he's playing left back, but like you look at the goals he's had to contribute. The opening goal of the season, the goal the other night against Hibs, bull of a header, the cracking goal against Dundee FC. So there's goals in him for a right back, like.
You remember as well, like when you
finished on more goals than Morelos will, I guarantee it.
Oh, geez, that's bold words now. So it is. But you look back to when Juranovic signed, and I think that was obviously the first new firm. We were saying like, would we put Juranovic straight in, or do we put Ralston in? And I said Ralston was playing that good at that stage. You can't change that, and he didn't. He put Juranovic over on the left. He played Ralston on the right. So he did, if memory serves me correctly that time. And it just seems to be the way it's going to be now. Like you can't really take him out of that position. It just seems to be his.
Is it just a lack of confidence Ange has in these other left backs? I know Bolingoli's obviously he can play in the Europa League. He's not in the Europa League team.
Um,
Like we're not seeing much of Scales. Everybody wants Scales. Everybody like Scales has a chance to play tomorrow, but Ange put it clearly in the press conference today that McCarthy and Scales will be on the bench. So McCarthy's not playing, starting the game tomorrow.
he might not be showing up on the training pitch. He might have looked good on the scouts, but he might not be showing up on the training pitch. We don't know what goes on in Lennox Town. Like we know if there's injuries or if there's any potential of someone starting, but we don't know what we see from Scales. He might not be showing up. He might not be adapted to the tactics because you have to realize he's after playing a full season League of Ireland as well. He hasn't had a break. He's going straight from the last couple of games into a brand new season at Celtic.
So he's literally gone straight through. It doesn't matter. He's probably getting good pay. He's probably getting triple the pay that he was at in Rovers, maybe 4 times the pay.
But you have to realise the other one as well. He wasn't a full-time footballer. He was working as well. He was working and he was doing football, getting the training. He'd never had a break. So you have to realise that as well from that point of view as well. He might not have had time to adapt, and he was still getting over moving everything as well. It was a last day thing on the last day of the transfer window, and we got him in. But he might just not have adapted to the surroundings just yet. He looked good when he came on the few games. I think someone said they might try and play him a centre half tomorrow. I don't know where that's coming from. But
he can play centre half. I said it. He can play centre. He can play centre half.
I don't know. From what I've seen before, like I think I saw him try and win there before when he was playing Drogheda United. It didn't look good.
Wouldn't you know he'd say that? The drugs. But Ralston, I think Ralston's going to be a pick for the future. I think if they give him a bit of time, I'm surprised he didn't get called up for the Scotland squad. I really am.
Yeah, no, like, I think someone mentioned that in the comments earlier on as well, and totally agree. Look, Steve Clark, he's sticking to his usuals, I think, bringing a few lads in, but I think he's looking at a few of the under-21s, I believe, as well. So, but no, he's definitely is one for the future to call up the Scotland squad. If he stays in this form, has to be called up soon enough.
Look, it depends on if Scotland are literally 1 foot in the door of qualifying for the World Cup to get the second spot. They have
great to see.
They have to play off, and I think under Steve Clark, they'll have the confidence and belief after getting through the Serbia playoff that they can do it. They can do it, you know. Like they have there's decent teams there. They could go against. They could go against Starfelt, Sweden.
That's what it was. Starfelt being that squad, would he?
Look, Starfelt is after coming on his game.
No, he is. I give him the benefit of the doubt there. He definitely has brought. It's just a pity he got that injury, especially when he was starting to kind of find his feet.
Definitely. Get to the comments. Brendan's great to see you in there. See the comments you're saying in there. Scotland have a good right back options. I agree with you. They do have good right back options, but this is a lad that's playing Europa League, playing for one of the best teams in Scotland, the best team in Scotland. But maybe not last season, but over the last 10 years, we've been the best team in Scotland overall when it comes down to honours, clean sheets, wage bill, best stadium. Best fans. I don't know about best kits now, because I have to say Adidas gear is getting worse and worse. I think. Look at the green jersey, shocking material, absolutely shocking material. Cracking jersey, tread a lot. You know. So we get through all these comments. If you are watching on YouTube, haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. If you're on Facebook, just please type in the same name on YouTube and tap that subscribe. I want to get to 7,000. Give me a reason to buy a few bits and bobs and actually give them away. If you don't want to subscribe to the channel, no worries. You know, I'm sure someone else will. Starfelt with the 2 feet. I think he's at to come onto his game, Arthur, big time. I would have said that maybe 3 or 4 games in. I think he's getting into it now. You know, Cameron Vickers has obviously established a good partnership with him. I think Julian will help him a lot as well when it comes to like leadership and giving them experience in the big games. So Mick,
just Arthur there. Just what I said was I said he was starting to find his feet. I didn't say he found it. I said he was starting to find them.
Starting to find them. Some say banana feet, but look, I think he's gonna get good. The only thing he's missing, as I said to Gaz in one of the previous podcasts, is the goal. He's missing that goal. That goal.
You've said that since the very first week, Keith, as well.
That goal. See when we were running 3-0 the other night, I was praying that Starfield would score. I was like, come on, get him a goal. Fuck everything else. I just want him to score. But it's a team job. We're doing well on goal difference. Someone said to me, they're like, how many bumps is it going to be until Ange runs to the hills? I think that's I don't know if that's sarcasm, to be honest, because this man's here for a 12-month rolling contract. It's a rebuild. If we don't win the league, in some Celtic fans' eyes, that's not good enough to continue his contract, even though we're playing good football. I know there's never second best in Glasgow, but yeah, people have to take into the consideration as well. It's a rebuild, and people don't accept that because it's Glasgow Celtic. They don't accept losing the league to them. I can understand that, but we got to gamble. And as I keep going back to this, and I stress about this, every game we play in the league is a cup final, and I'd have to go against Ange and his decisions last week. I've been backing him all the way, but I think when it came down to his decisions in the second half of the game was absolutely shocking. Guayo should have been on for the second half of that game at half time. I just felt like we were just kept going to the flanks, swinging them in. No one was on the end of the balls. I think it was like 38 crosses in the game, 805 passes, 85% possession.
And we couldn't get a goal again. See, he's going to learn from that. He knows now like that it's not every game is going to be like free flowing football, Ange ball. He's going to come up against a park the bus kind of thing, and that's where he's going to have to change his tactics, get a plan B in there. So the fact that it happened early, he's going to go back to the drawing board and say, right, lads, if we see this happen again, we have to work things out. What he should have done is, instead of swinging in the whole time, keep passing, like tippy tappy.
That's what we were missing.
Just someone take a player on. So you're going to get, if you try and take a player on in that situation, you're going to get a free kick. You can have a few shots and goal. Turnbull has to stop taking shots at every opportunity he gets. In fairness, like last week he was just taking shots.
He didn't take enough shots last week because I thought he was doing.
When the ones he did take last week, he was taking them at the wrong time. So he was. But yeah, it's when situations like that, stop swinging in. Just take a player on. Get the knock. Go down. You might obviously Bobby Madden was absolutely ridiculous last week, but that's what you're going to be up against. You have to take that into account as well. But that's the type of thing. If it's not working, the swinging in, go to Plan B, take them on, and then we can go back to Plan A because they might be spread out a bit more, and then we can go back to swinging in, and when they're not expecting it.
I agree with Arthur. It was painful to watch. It felt like a defeat, didn't it? It really did. It was just because we could have went penalty. We could have went top, and then you see the likes of Motherwell scored, and you're like, maybe there's something going on here, and then you just fall over. And absolutely, did you see O'Donnell? I think it was O'Donnell's tackle. It wasn't a sending off. It wasn't a second off. It wasn't sending off.
I know. I said I didn't see it.
It was. He just got stuck. He's like, fuck that, But no, I'm excited going into this game on the 2nd of January. I
don't even want to talk about it, to be honest. I think it's too far away.
Because there's a lot of talk this week, and we've mentioned it many times, and other podcasters have mentioned many times. It looks like they're not getting any tickets.
No, I think it's already announced that they're not getting tickets.
The club hadn't officially came out with a statement FC yet, but it looks like from the sources
I'll probably get shot down by a lot. I think it's the club, the fans are very split in this one. I'm on the side I was saying give them the tickets, to be honest, because don't stoop yourself to their level. And this whole crack is what you need away fans at a derby game. You really, really do, to add to the atmosphere. Whether it's 400 or 4,000, you need the atmosphere for that as well, just to kind of rub it in. Whoever's on the bad end of it, to rub it in the face, whatever. So you really, really need that. And I think they've started this. So
Mick, this is what killing me is. I'm a 50-50 about this topic. When I look at pictures of what they done to the toilets, that makes me like, no, don't give them nothing.
They've done that for years. They've done that for years.
I know, but it was really bad the last time. It was over 12 grand of damages. But look at it, if this is meant to be the most bitterest derby in the world, so you gotta have both sets of fans there as well. Yeah. In that aspect, I
think the whole crack as well, when they took away the 5,500 capacity, and then obviously we went to their level. We took away their 7,500 capacity. Fair enough. I agree with the club decision to only give them the normal capacity of, I think was it 900, is it? When
They had
in that
800
away
last
section,
time.
800. I agreed with that as well, because obviously they only gave us, I think it was 400 or 500, whatever it was. But to not allow fans in, like that's a horrible decision. Like, especially when they're blaming, say, can you guarantee us tickets, especially in the middle of a pandemic when we don't know what way Nicola Sturgeon's mind was going. I was like, lads, we can't guarantee this, but we can revisit it when it comes to the time. But this is the way we had to do things. That's still where we're at now at the minute. We're doing the COVID certs, all that kind of crack as well. And this is the situation that we would have explained to these guys. But they still went and said, no, right, no fans. Like, it's going to take someone at this stage to step up and bring the fans back to away games, because this can't go on forever. If the SFA had stepped in at this stage, it would have been sorted out. And I'm surprised they haven't stepped in to say, right, you have to give these guys a certain amount of tickets.
Look, I'd take some portion of them back. I'd probably give them 400 back. I wouldn't be going all out, because if they're only going to give us 400 in Ibrox the next game, that's it. But it looks like it's not going to happen. No,
it doesn't. But like, you never. There's no season ticket. There's no season ticket holders for that section, though. There's no season ticket holders for that section.
What they need to do is let this fixture go, and then the two of them sit down and say, "Look, there's 2 fixtures left. You can have your normal allocation back. We have a normal allocation, and that's it's done in the past. It's done in the past." Because
I think it looks better if we do it. I think it looks better if we're the ones to just step in now and let them back in, and that'd be the end of it.
It's not, as you know, with the majority, it looks like it's not going to happen. But it's just, it killed me sitting there watching that and listening to them gobshites on the telly singing. I just turned around and said to Aidan, any chance of just putting on Irish songs or something? There's no point in listening to Crocker and them shouting in the backgrounds. Like, honestly, we need some, like, we go back to the Johnny Hayes and the Edward day. Like, we had a small capacity of fans there, but it was still a day. It's still an away day for the fans. That's
as well. Like, but you have to realize, like, that's what I'm saying. Even the small amount of fans that were there, they were heard, and it added. It just, that kind of thing adds to, like, so you need away fans, no matter if. I don't know if people are saying there, no, don't let them back in, never let them back in Paradise again. It's like, that's just as bad as them.
Yeah, we don't. Look, I can understand people are bitter and hate them. I can understand that. I can understand, but it's I won't say it's ruining the game. It just feels like it's 2-2. Like, if you don't let them in, we're definitely winning them 2 games against them. So it feels like in some Celtic fans' heads.
What if that goes against you?
Like, we need that. I just think spicing up, bringing them back in some aspect. As I said, if it's 400, let them in, and put them in the corner, and that's it. Like,
Imagine, we're saying this now, like, let them back in, but I guarantee if touch wood, say that I'm wrong on this one, that if they were to be victorious and they're over celebrating their fans, we'd be on the next day saying we shouldn't have let them back in.
I know. Crucified on the channel, absolutely crucified. But it's still an opinion, folks. We all agree and disagree in certain aspects, but look, that's a long time away. If we just keep momentum, if we keep going in with the 4 points into this derby game, and there's football to be played in December. December's always a rocky month for football clubs.
Yep. Especially with the League Cups in there as well. So
yeah, look, are we optimistic going in against St. Johnstone? I'm nervous. I was confident a couple of weeks ago, but I'm kind of nervous about it now.
Keith, I'm nervous going into every game at the minute. I'm no matter what game, maybe not Europa League so much. Like, I'm kind of with you in that one. Like, I don't really kind of concentrate on that too much.
You watch it.
Oh yeah, you come here. It's a Celtic game. You're going to watch a Celtic game, but the last thing you want is to end up in that Conference League after Christmas. That could be an absolute disaster. So it could be like especially the traveling, like so.
My problem is, right, fair enough, we needed the money for the Europa League, and it's European experience for Ange and these players come to Celtic, and it's good for the fans to get back in, and it was good for myself to get over for a couple of weeks ago for a game, but it's a distraction. We don't need distractions. We just need to have a full rested team and go out every Saturday and Sunday and bash them. That's what we need. That's what we need. It's just there's too many games, and that's my fear about this season. It's not my fear of Ange making the wrong decisions or players not fit. I just think, I don't like doing a comparison, but I'll do it. Look at the likes of the Pill. The Pill were out of most competitions. They took every league game as a final, and then they won the league. We need to have some sort of mindset about the league. Like, look, if we get beat, if we go into the Conference League, just play a load of the Finnish players. Look, it's the Conference League. It's no incentive for us. It's feck all money to be won in the Conference League. You're looking at, I think, 3.5 million. But that, like, if we win tomorrow, we're in contention of going or pushing for second place. Depends on other results as well. Obviously, Betis drew with was a Leverkusen the last time around.
Yep.
So it's just I don't really care about the Europa League. I know that sounds terrible, but the league is the bread and butter.
Well, here you go. Here's the answer yourself this question. If it was Champions League, how would you feel about that?
Well, there's money there. There's pot. There's it was the Champions League. We're playing the creme of European football. Of course.
Yeah.
I'll be excited.
Right, take the money aspect out of it, right? Because you looked at what you just said there, right? You're saying like that it's a distraction because the league is the bread and butter. That's what we're going for, right? Like you're in the Champions League, it's added games. We're going to be playing our main players the whole time. Do you not think like especially if you're not going to be going to win those games? Do you know where I'm coming from? Like,
it just depends how you start the first round of games in the Champions League. Like, let's be realistic here with the crop of players that we have. If they were put in the Champions League group, regardless who we're against, I think we wouldn't have a chance. I think it'd be FIFA scores like the way it was in Rodgers.
Well,
group.
Look, hold on a minute. Like if we do the league, we're straight in there next week.
Your answer is if we were in the Champions League and we're fighting for the league, which we're planning to get to the Champions League next season.
Yep.
I would take a risk because it's the Champions League. The Europa League is only 5 million. Yes, there's a Champions League spot at the end of it. Simple as that, yes. But we don't have the core squad to go all the way to the Champions League or Europa League final.
No, definitely not at the minute. So, but I'm just saying, never mind. Take the money thing out. If you're looking at one competition and you don't want distractions, like the Champions League would have been the exact same situation if you take the money out of it. Like so,
sure, look,
obviously.
The Conference League reminds me of like a vase that you buy in IKEA or something, for God's sake, Like if you're not taking the team out like here for the 2 days, it's like, and that's the thing. Like I think the club would put pressure on the likes of Ange if he does qualify for third tier European football to play the strongest team, regardless of the league, because they want money, and I honestly, it's not worth it. Like. It kills me. Like we're literally stuck in two holes here, and we don't know which one we're gonna get. With two walls around, which way we're gonna jump? At the end of the day, I don't want the Europa League. I want to win the league. That's our bread and butter. We can't compete in all these cups and expect success.
And the other thing as well, if they win the league and they get into that, they're out of trouble as well. You have to look at it that way as well with that prize money. Yep.
Well, it's 40 million. Like I had some gobshites on the last night on Instagram were like to me, and where's this magic 40 million cup coming from? Like, do your research before you go on the page. Do your research, folks. With the coefficients of Scottish football, the winners of this season goes into the Champions League automatically next season, and then the runners up will play a third round playoff, and then the official playoff round then. So there's a lot of money to gamble on. And as I said, the 26 games, we should be putting everything out there. Starting Kyogo, starting Yate, start Jamesy. I play Jamesy tomorrow. I really believe Jamesy should be playing tomorrow.
He's eager for a game.
I think since Yate came out signed for Celtic, Abad has been off it. I know he's on the other side. He's just been off it.
I think he's sussed out. I think he's trying the same thing over and over again, and the defender has him sorted out in the first 15, 20 minutes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's only 20 years of age. He's still a lot to learn about the game. He has potential to be a cracking player. You've seen the goals he scored in the Israeli league of all places, and I want to say, but
goals he scored for us as well. They were good.
Yeah, he's goal against Midtjylland. But is it is it a booster? To be honest with you, Arthur, that's the thing. Like you're sacrificing injury, you sacrifice the players to get injured as well. I know that can happen in league games. Is a distraction.
When you're winning games, though, that's where the confidence will be coming from. No matter what competition it is, if you're winning games.
Well, look, you go back to the Ferencvaros game. Like we obviously beat Aberdeen, and then we beat Motherwell, and then we went on to beat Ferencvaros, and that was a bit of confidence in the 5 games. We're still unbeaten since the Aberdeen game.
Yeah.
Like fair enough, we drew against Livy, and it felt like a defeat. We're going into this game with confidence. We have a settled keeper, we have a settled right back who got a new contract. Left back, we're playing a right back there, but look, he's doing a decent job there. Centre back, it's all up. I think Welch will play. I think Welch will play with Vickers. I don't think the likes of Beaton does not suit it. I think Beaton has a liability mistake in him. I just think
Beaton starts tomorrow. Though. He starts centre mid, I think, tomorrow.
Do you think he's going to start defensive midfielder?
I think he will start. Yeah, with Rogic being out as well, I think he'll start Beaton. So,
well, everybody's still going on a bit of tickets here, folks. Look, we're all entitled to our opinions, and I understand that a lot of Celtic fans don't want them back in the stadium. I can understand that, but we're missing that. We're missing that kind of having them in the corner, and when we score, we're really giving us some. That way. That's what I miss. I miss the Celtic fans going absolutely berserk, huddles, singing at them, everything. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, yourself, you've been to a couple of the derbies. Well, the pre-derbies before they passed away, they passed away. But yeah, it's just I go with to be honest with you, I think Beaton will start tomorrow again with Callum, and it'll be Turnbull. I think it'll be I'll call it. You might as well call it the cross formation. You might as well call it the cross formation. That way, literally deep defensive midfielder. Have Callum literally in the middle of that pitch. Turnbull pushing up. Literally behind the main striker. Then have the two boys on the wing.
With Rogic not there, McGregor's going to have a little bit more free flowing role. I think. Obviously with Beaton holding back, I think McGregor will kind of be let loose a little bit more, kind of to attack, get a few shots off. So that's what I'd be expecting tomorrow.
What do you make of Mikey Johnston so far since he came back into the team?
It's just has that kind of little fella in the back of your head saying, is he going to be the same Mikey Johnston of all? Like what he's come in since he came back from injury, the games that he's come on for, he's been very, very good. He's been very quick. He's not playing like super football that he was before he got injured. So I'm impressed with what he's been doing so far, but it's just how long does it last and how long can we keep him fit for? That's the other thing we have to worry about as well.
The difference with the Mikey Johnston that we did prior and in any manager tender that he's worked under with Lennon or Rodgers or even Ronnie. He comes in more, he's trying to cut into the middle more. I think under Ange style football. Kind of like what Yotta's trying to do and Kyogo was trying to do on the left. I think you're going to see that more. I think when you go back to Abada's trying that and he's getting sussed out. Yeah. I think Abada will be cracking. I just think he's dipping the form at the moment. And form is temporary. And I just think with Jamesy coming back now, Abada will step up to play because we all know Jamesy Forrest was missed terribly. Last season he was missed terribly.
You saw what he did when he came back. He came back for 2 or 3 games near the end of last season, and he made a massive difference. And you could see how much of he was missed. Like just even with going forward, because we had nothing in the final third, and when he was cutting in, it was making a big difference to what we hadn't got last season. So I just hope he's the same player when he comes back. He seems hungry though. He seems that he wants to get back in there as quick as he can, no matter what game it is.
That's it. And we don't like. I just feel like Abada at the moment has a parachute in his back in some games. I just feel like he's going forward and he's getting that Taylor feeling like, what will I do next? How will I take a player on? Like, go for it, man. Get physical. Get stuck in. Get stuck in, and that's the way to be. That's I'm gonna fancy. I'm gonna fancy Kyogo to start tomorrow. I think Giakoumakis. We will see Giakoumakis second half. I think it will be a defensive bench where there will be options. I think what regardless of Albion Yeti, is it Albion going to be gone in January, or do you think?
See, how many more chances can you give him? Like, no matter what Albion has done, he's just not showing up. He's had, there's one of the games, I think it was early on in the season, he's had a bucket full of chances and he just didn't put it away at all. Like, and he was only 2 or 3 yards out and he just couldn't do anything. So I think he's got his work cut out for him, especially with Giakoumakis and Kyogo there ahead of him. So he's going to find it very hard to get back into the squad. I wouldn't be half surprised to see him kind of out on loan or seeing out his contract somewhere else. To be honest, I can see that happening. To be honest, we're not going to make any money off him. As much as I hate to say that about a player, like he does try. It's not as if he doesn't. He just like kind of throws his hands up in the air. He puts his head into it. He's just not getting the run of form that he wants. You know.
Yeah, I think Jamesy will be a massive part of this season when we get him going up and running. It's gonna. I could see Jamesy Forrest back to Jamesy Forrest after the international break. Look, he was. I don't even think he was called up for the Scotland squad, so which is a good incentive to obviously work on style of play in Lennoxtown. Because you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Yeah. We do know that what does go behind the scenes in Lennoxtown. Kyogo's video.
Very good. Very good.
I couldn't stop laughing. See Ralston jumping.
the little squeal out of him as well. Like, I was Welsh there behind him. He goes, "Yeah, Welsh could see it coming behind the screen." I'm like, yeah, what's going on there?
Yeah, he's just picking up his wage, packing, not showing interest. I just don't think he suits the style of football. Simple as that.
Yep.
I think he needs to move on. Look, he looks better physically. He looks better. I just don't have the confidence. You know, like I think it's time we just, literally send a Yeti on loan, terminate Griff's contract at the end of the season, and just leave it there and we move on.
You're after open up a bucket there if people start making comments about Griff.
No, I've said this the last time. I've made my final decision. Okay, as I said, I want to thank Lee Griffiths for the 100+ goals he scored, being a part of a quad treble success team, part of history. But I think it's time that Lee Griffiths era goes into the past and moves to the future. He's done good service for Celtic, but in the last 2 years, not getting picked a lot down to fitness selections and other stuff. We need consistency. You can't. We need to move forward as a club, and we need to have as much resources available for us, fit, ready to go, battle for the short. Yes, when Lee played some games, he came on and got a goal or two. Yes, and he does do this and he pull like a bit of passion. But I just think I think it's time he moves on.
He dirtied his bib too much, in my opinion. Like then obviously coming back, not fit, and then obviously, like I said, this is the start of the season. Ange gave him one more chance to prove himself, and then a week later he was training on his own. So
let's be honest here, Mick. I'm not trying to be smart, but you have Giakoumakis playing against well, obviously Lee's on loan. Pretend Lee's not on loan. Pretend Lee's in the squad on that bench. You have Kyogo or you have Lee Griffiths to pick. What are you gonna go for?
Kyogo.
Like Lee has the attributes to obviously cross a nice corner, nice ball from corner, or hit a free kick. Yes, he has the attributes, blistering shot. But Kyogo, come on, pace wise, agility.
No, I can't believe you actually even asked me that question, to be honest.
Let's be honest. Like, you're looking at this for the future perspective here. I think it's time that the likes of Lee does move on at the end of the season. I don't know where you. I don't know if he stays in Scotland. I don't know if Hibs will if they sell this bit. Are they going to go take him back? I don't know. I really don't know.
Baggage that has to be kind of cut loose at this stage, like especially some of the stuff that Lennon signed last year. Like we've said, Griffiths there as well. Obviously, a Yeti most likely should be gone. Barkas, he's just kind of making up a bit of a wage bill there. Like, there's a couple of players like that kind of have to be gone. Like, so there's a bit of weight that has to be gone.
Like, I could say realistically, I was making about 10 million off 3 or 4 players that we could clear out.
It's probable.
Like, well, I don't even think we get 1 million for Griff at this moment of time.
No, he'd be gone in a free, I'd say.
Like, Beaton, you're pushing to get 1 million off for Beaton because Beaton contract's up next season, the end of next season. Barkas, take the 2 million. 3 million, take the loss. Bolingoli, probably 2 million. You know.
See, Bolingoli seems to be an Ange's plans the whole time. So.
But yeah, I still think we can get money for Yeti because he's still a Swiss international and stuff. He still has potential there, but not in the hoops. Maybe I could see about 10 million we could offload at Deadwood.
It's possible, but again, they could all end up being loan deals, and we just end up getting nothing for them in the end. Like so that's another thing to see.
I have to say, in the last transfer window, I was impressed with Celtic's business regards to loan deals. We didn't get much loaned. We got Jota in, and Jota's been pretty decent. You know,
sign him now. Just give him the money now. Give him the 6.5 million.
He wants to play with the short, and I just think there's a good vibe. There's a good vibe up front between Jota and Kyogo. Spells of Babada. You know, we haven't seen much of Giacomakis yet, but we need players that win hard, play hard, dirty hard, get in there and get stuck in. I just think we're missing a real physical main striker, and that's what we're missing.
You haven't got your typical centre forward, big John Hart's and Chris Sutton type of character, like so.
I know that's what we're missing, and that's what I think will win us the league. I think we're missing that as much as the style of football. Kyogo's brilliant in the front, and we're just missing something like that. As I said, if it's Danza and Maeda, happy days. But the realms of this other Japanese right back, it's all speculation. I can't see it happening. There's one or two Instagram pages put up today, and I looked into it. And usually it's the sake of typing in this player's name, and Google will give you a few articles about it, and there's not much about it.
Many years have we been looking at transfer speculation when it comes to Celtic now. Like you see 1,000,001 players being mentioned in a week.
Ivan Toney, John McGinn.
I don't think we were ever going to get Ivan Toney, to be honest. I don't think that was ever going to happen.
Barcast, 25 quid. Pack the Crips. So
take 25 quid and put it on the million to one shot. Try and get your money back off.
Do you think if we get over it, we get a result, say even a draw tomorrow, and we go to Dens Park on Sunday? Are you confident? I know you said every game is like a heart in the mouth kind of material. What
I'm thinking about for a weekend is like, regardless of what happens tomorrow night, I hope, obviously I'd like to see us win. Obviously, don't never want to see us lose or anything. But I think the weekend we need to bag at least 3 or 4 goals, to be honest, against these just after last weekend's result, just to kind of get that form back going again, because he scored 3 goals against Hibs. Yeah, he scored a few goals against St. Johnston and Motherwell the week before that. We just need to get the goal score going again. I think we need to get 3 or 4
against points. I'm not picky. Just want 3 points.
But going into the international break, you know what I mean? Like, so just kind of have that confidence going out and have it come back in again, you know.
If we play dirty the way we done up a dirty game up the way we done in the Todry, I don't care. Once we get 3 points against Dundee FC, okay, Charlie Allen going home crying. His team lost. Happy days. The Cumdog going home crying. Don't care. Once we get 3 points on Sunday, but we have a tough opposition tomorrow. Ferencvaros are not going to roll over at home. We have no fans there, even though they had fans at Celtic Park, because I was literally above them. I was literally sitting top Lisbon Lions on the left hand side towards the kind of glass.
Yeah,
and you could look down, and the Ferencvaros fans were there. Yeah, I do go to games, folks. I actually go to games. Yeah, I actually go to games for a change. But yeah, it's just, I'm confident we could do something tomorrow. I'm confident that we could get an early goal against them, the way we could have done against Alkmaar. I know Alkmaar, the result wasn't positive at the end. Come out, just hit the ground running, hit the wings, and get a goal. You know, like, they're on form in the league and the Hungarian Cup, but like, come on, we put them in their places at Celtic Park. I think Jota is going to be a massive part tomorrow against them. I don't know if it's going to be a cuisine pass the way he done the last time, but that was some pass. That was some pass. And the angle that Celtic done, the unique angle, as they call it, it was even perfection.
What about the touch? What about the touch to that from Kyogo after? Like, just the ball just like stuck to his foot, and just like landed perfectly as well, and like pristine finish into the bottom corner. So like you don't see many of them, no matter who you're playing against.
Right, how many goals will Kyogo score this season?
What's he on at the minute? 9?
I think he's on about 8 or 9 now. Yeah.
To be honest, 18. I'll go 18, 19.
I'm going 21.
All right, we have a little gentleman's betting that now.
I'm gonna go Jota. Jota's gonna score 10. I think he's already on 3, isn't he?
Something like that, yeah. Like I haven't looked at the stats too much. Like,
Ray Rovers.
How many clean sheets Joe Hart gonna get?
It's a good question. That's a really good question. He's on. Did you say he's on 6 so far? I'm gonna go for 15.
You were supposed to say 5 there, and he's already on 6.
I'm thinking like, what a shit.
I had 14 in my head, so I'm going to stick with 14.
15. I'm got 15 clean sheets in the league.
Oh yeah, in the league, of course, yeah.
I just have this feeling that we're going to win the League Cup. As much as I moan about trying to delegate the team and trying to focus and winning the league, I just have a feeling like it's before Christmas. We played the whole of St. Johnstone. We're still unbeaten at Hampden, even though we got beaten in our cups last season. We're still unbeaten in Hampden.
Yeah, but you look at it as well. Like, I think we will get a bit of silverware this season, whether it's one of the cups or the league. Like, I'm not going to start predicting who's going to win the league, but I still reckon we'll win one of the cups. So I do think we'll have our hands on some silverware this season.
Look, it's not all over to the fat lady sings, and I'm confident going into the game 2nd of January. Quite confident. If we lose, I'll come on the show and probably have a whinge and have Roy.
I won't be on with you.
Trust me, you're banned from December and January shows after last year. I don't even think I'm gonna even be a part of that winter.
I don't know what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about.
Look, it must be a different mix. Sorry, but we'll win the treble again. Optimistic. I love it. Red Scotland, please. I gave you enough notice. I gave you enough notice that I was going to come on and do a show tonight. I put up a post there on. I know he's a big fan.
I put a reminder on as well, saying that we were having tech issues as well. So there was 2 reminders that we were on tonight.
Yeah, I know. I just said that I will be on tonight, but you can watch it all over again. If we win the league, get the style sorted. Look, we can't win the league. We can't. It's a long way to go. We're going to strengthen in January. Hopefully, not the way we did. Bring a few duds in. There's still loads of duds at the club. John Kennedy, Strachan still duds. I still hope Ange gets his own backroom staff whenever that's going to be. But before we leave, I just want to say congratulations to a former coach, Damien Duff, getting the Shells job. I don't know if you've watched the interview yet. It's very passionate to him talking about Celtic. And you know what? As much as we love the club, he made a point tonight that a father, you can't go against a father. He's like, I had my kids over in Glasgow and they wanted to go home to Ireland. And what's more important, 8, 9, 10, are seeing your kids grow up and be happy. Let's be honest.
Can't argue with that.
That's why he's staying many of this.
He's going to be a great addition to Shells, I think. Shells only have to get promoted as well, so I hope to do well. Like, it kills me to say that about Shells, but I hope Duff gets a good run of form with them.
I think he'll get into the top 4 in the League of Ireland. I really believe he will. I just think, look, they don't have a great budget. The experience he has, like he came out and said it tonight, that there is going to be bumps, there is going to be bruises, there is going to be people maybe calling for his head. But
he's already cancelled Christmas for them as well.
Like he's that type of manager. Like, look, League of Ireland is not full time teams. Dundalk was, Rovers are. I don't know what the stories with Bows, but I really believe he'll get it together. He really will get it together at Shells, and it'll be good because it's. I just want to knock Rovers off the page for a change. As much, look, I don't support Shells, don't support Bows, don't support Pats. I just like to see a different winner. Simple as that. You know, I know Dundalk were dominant.
Draw them. Yeah, we're playing them tomorrow night. So we are, and they're behind us. So Dundalk were really in a relegation battle a couple of weeks ago. So they're really gone down.
I thought Drogheda were in the League of Ireland. I thought they were in Division 1.
Go away, Keith. Let's go.
That's how much I keep an eye on the league. Yeah, but Damien Duff did come out and say in the press conference, which bells in my head. He said, "I still get phone calls from Celtic players about a voice. I'm on the other side of the phone," and he just said, "Look, the time I had at Glasgow was phenomenal, and I know for a fact if I was to walk back there tomorrow or go into that club tomorrow, I'll be welcome with open arms." And that's a fact. That's a fact. Damien Duff, like, it wasn't down to the Ireland job. He wanted to come home because his kids wanted to come back to Ireland. That's the way it is in football. Unfortunately, as people get upset and like, "Oh, I miss him." Like, we could have got Johan, but he decided to go with Strachan. It wasn't Neil Lennon that picked it. It was a case of the club literally being cheap asses.
The
usual business. So I wish Duff for the best. I wish the boys tomorrow the very best against Ferencvaros. I don't know if I'll be on after, folks. I have a Scottish team coming over tomorrow after the game, so like that's priorities at the moment. But we'll see how we get on with the result tomorrow. I'm gonna fancy 2-1 tomorrow. I think we will concede against them, but it'll be maybe 30-40 minutes in. I'm gonna fancy Kyogo with a goal. And if Welsh starts, I think Welsh might get a header.
Jeez, you've been optimistic there at Welsh, to be honest. Like, come here. I think he will start. No, I'm going to say 1-0. I'm going to stick with me heart in this one. I'll say 1-0 Celtic. Scrappy 1-0.
Look, okay. It's if they win scrappy, it doesn't matter, isn't it? Balls in the back of the net, it's a win. And we don't have to go onto social media and deal with people moans like, "Oh, this is Andrew's fault. Oh, is he the right man for the job?" Like, why would you keep second questioning a manager's only to walking in the door 4 months ago? Like, seriously, get a grip yourself. We're not Nuno. You're like, Nuno, what? Got 10 games and got the boot?
18 games. I think it was 126 days. I think he was in the job. Hey, nice little payday for 126 days work.
That's it. Like, I just can't believe a minority of fans keep saying that he's not the man for the job. Like, let's be realistic. Who is the man for the job if he's not the man for the job?
Sure, anybody we approached was throwing us down point blank. So, and I think he's been. I would question him at the start of the season, but I'm one of his biggest fans at the minute. To be honest, I love the guy.
Yeah, he reminds me of like a favourite uncle or something. It's like I was that tempted for the laugh to put up last night. Picture of him and Ronnie, and like, who would you like to go out for a pint with, Ronnie or Ange?
Oh, I'd say Ronnie, to be honest. Ronnie's a bit of a lunatic, isn't he?
I'd say Ronnie. I think Ange would be the more chill out in the corner,
Have your small half glass of beer or something like that.
Half a lemon in the night, little glass of whiskey, just chilling out. Because he has came out and said many times he's not a sociable person. But like Ronnie, I think Ronnie's one of the lads that would be like, I'll bring the whole team out in the piss in Norway. Let's go for it. You seen the Derby pictures of him
in New York? See him in New York watching the Derby game in August or September. He was nuts.
He'd be doing the swash in the middle of Paddy Brown. The jocks he will be. Like Ronnie. But we'll leave it there. But thanks to Mick coming on, and whoever's watched the stream tonight on the 3 platforms, the whole 28 years. Look at numbers are crucial. Having 28 years with the comments coming through, it's appreciated on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you haven't subscribed, get on like a car bonnet. It's not that hard. It's not going to cost you a penny. It's not going to cost you a simple penny. It's just like, look at. There's more wealth in this page than some football clubs out there that are bought for £1. So look at. It's all right. But I appreciate Mick coming on. I'm hopefully going to be back over the weekend. We'll probably get something on Saturday night if people are around. Try to get other people on, and we'll talk about the Dundee game coming up as well. But my approach is, I think we're going to win the both games. Simple as that. I think we're going to win the both games. It's going to be tough tomorrow. We're going to grind the result out there. And I hope some Celtic fans get in tomorrow. I really do, Mick.
Yeah, no, I expect a few to be in there, to be honest. With the big Irish contingent that's over there, can you guarantee to see at least a handful of Celtic fans in there tomorrow?
I hope so, because we need a bit of support. And there's no, like even the Betis game, like I think it was the left side of the goal, and there was Celtic fans at the back of the goal. Like there's about
Yeah, and
10 of
there's
those
no
fans.
fans allowed into the stadium, but they're all there, like, because they all live there.
That's it. That's the business. Seville full of teams since the
That's
UEFA Cup.
Seville, because them boys were born in 2004. That's they've been Celtic fans since.
There's before, yeah.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. You know exactly what I mean there.
9 months in the gut. I'm sure they have a little aircon Ireland jersey as well. They do.
I'm sure there's a few of them around there, right? Half Irish, so they're all Celtic fans.
That's it. Well, we'll leave it there, folks. Thanks very much for watching. I know it was all scattered all over the podcast, and we like to be like Hardy about pick and mix, throw different topics in. That's the way it is. But speak to us all soon.